So in 2015, when the WCW's big names Sting finally came to WWE, he wrestled Triple H at Mania, lost, and the internet shit themselves overnight. When you see fake outrage like that online, does it make you shake your head, or do you go, yeah, good for you guys, stick up for the wrestler?
What do you think I do? I can't believe you actually asked me that question. You know, I've been very clear about what the answer to that would be.
Yeah, but
What do you think the answer is? You asked me a question. What do you think? You know the answer. I
I,
shake
I
my head.
yeah, I think you would say, if I was there, I'd have done a run in and we would have beat the bad guys up together.
The outcomes are not real. Okay.
But what I'm saying is, when you see the outrage to these kind of results, like,
Mm-hmm.
this is the question really we've got to ask. What's your take on the rise of grown adults who seem to think wrestling is real again?
They don't think it's real. They think it's art. So they pop when the artists hit each other hard or try to risk risk um, risk injury.
Mm.
That's what they pop for. If you watch, that is what they pop for. And every now and then they'll pop for gimmicky stuff, like when the kid puts his hands in the pockets, and when the guys do their gimmick, they'll pop for that. But ultimately, they don't. This generation didn't grow up watching. Like this generation of fans did. Most of them did not grow up watching good wrestling. They grew up watching all the acrobatics, and they think while they're doing this, they're consuming the dirt sheet guys that are telling them how great this stuff is. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is that the people that just do not care about rating the matches and that they don't care. Those people just stopped watching as these guys started doing more acrobatic stuff. And honestly, that is what has caused the decline in the fans, because you can point to shows that have been good and had good booking, but the work still all looks exactly the same. If you did the match, if you took the looked at each match and fast forward it 5 times speed, right? It would look like the guys come to the ring, they go brrr, and next thing you know, they're outside the ring, they're boom boom, and they're jumping out of the ring like Pac-Man, boom boom. That's what all the matches would look like. It looks like everything they do is a setup to do a big jump out of the ring, which is what happens nearly in almost every match, and most matches multiple times a match. When back in the day, that used to happen one time a show. It was a big deal. It's a big deal. Guys diving outside the ring and risking the high risk. That's the thing, is they're high risk maneuvers, right? But the wrestlers have made them by definition not high risk maneuvers. Because how often do they miss the moves when they go to do a dive outside a guy on the floor? How often do they miss? So the whole concept of it looking like a high-risk maneuver, if everybody's doing it and successfully complete, it's not a high-risk maneuver anymore. And this is common sense, logic that I'm talking right now. But people think about that, and it's wow, you're right. It isn't high risk anymore. Where's the risk? Nobody they do it 99.5% of the time, and they hit the move. So how is that high risk? They've taken all the elements that involved in storytelling, compelling risk. What's going to happen? They've taken a lot of that out because nobody really pins anybody with moves anymore and everything. It's just we're going through 15 minutes of spots until it ends. And that's the way matches look these days,
It's funny you mentioned that, because I watched an event recently. It was the In Your House where Shawn Michaels wrestled Mankind, and that was a 2.5 hour long event, and there was one super kick thrown on the entire card.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels.
Nobody get kicked in the head at all.
It's a finish.
Yeah, but then if you watch it these days, I don't know if you see NXT. Somebody took a belly to back onto the edge of a table. Then sold it instantly.
Bro, you don't even have to tell me. The guys these days do not know how to sell.
Yeah.
They do not know. Seriously, I know how to sell very well. Okay, and when I teach people how to sell better. If I walked in to any locker room today, right? There's like a 75% of the guys that say, "Hey, you need to start working on your selling, and this is what you need to do." You know, there's just a huge problem in guys just that you know, wrestlers, all they care about are the moves. Everybody lays out a match to get their shit in. They come up with creative spots. They have a certain amount of time they have to do it in, and because they figured out so much stuff that they have to do, they haven't calculated enough time to sell anything. So nothing looks like it hurts. Nothing looks like this. It's so, you know, it's just, it doesn't. None of the things really mean nothing anymore.
But do you think that's the fault of the wrestler being dumb, or because of the mark only reacting to high spots?
No, it's the wrestler being dumb.
Hmm.
It's the wrestler being first of all, the wrestlers being dumb, and they've basically cultivated this crowd of this crowd's not wrestling fans. Like wrestling fans, you know, that I worked in front of, you know, they like to cheer the baby faces and boo the heels. And they like to cheer for the good guy to beat the bad guy, mostly, and they would pop when the good guy would win, and they would boo when the bad guy would win. Where do you see that anymore? And that's just basic simplistic wrestling. It's like, show me a match where you've seen that, where the bad guy is doing things to get the crowd mad at him, and the good guy is like fighting back. Just, I mean, show that to me. You know, what does it happen once every 3 weeks on a match on a show?
Yeah, whenever Lesnar turns up.
Yeah,